Hey, my name's Joe Gilder, and I run HomeStudioCorner.com. I also live in Nashville. That means I know a lot of people with really sweet home recording studios that I know you would be interested in seeing. So I'm putting together a series of tours, probably one per week for the foreseeable future, where I will go to these different folks' places, and we'll probably grab lunch, and then we'll go back to their place and check out their studio. We have everything from, I've got guys with full setups with multiple rooms for tracking a full band in isolation to the one-room bedroom studios, just like a lot of my Home Studio Corner folks have, and everything in between. So I hope you will subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of these tours as I release them. And up first is my good buddy, Drew Middleton. I've known Drew for several years now. We've made a lot of music together, and he recently branched out and launched Nashville Demo Factory as his way of producing demos for songwriters, both locally but especially outside of the Nashville area. So a lot of remote collaboration via the internet, which is such a cool way to work. So check out Drew's space. It's probably a room in his house that's similar to maybe something that your studio is in, and he's able to make some great sounding music. So without further ado, let's check out Drew. I'm here at Burger Up with the lovely Drew. We're having lunch, and then we're going to go tour his studio. Isn't that a cute house? A cute man. Hey, welcome. We're here in Drew Middleton's studio. Hi, Drew.
What's up?
And I'm going to turn the camera around in just a second. But Drew's the first in a series of hopefully never-ending studio tours, because there's just a lot of cool studios to see, and I'd like to go check them out. So I'm hoping you'll join me. Let me flip this camera around, and we'll get started. All right, here we are. Introduce yourself, brother.
My name is Drew Middleton, owner at NashvilleDemoFactory.com.
There'll be a link somewhere.
Somewhere.
Somewhere, maybe down there.
Maybe right there.
No, it'll be down.
Here?
Lower.
Here?
Point down. Oh, I could put one between your fingers. We'll see. I don't know. Probably below the video.
Can I make a mean face like that?
Yes, that's perfect. Good.
So this is my studio.
So tell us about, what room is this in your house?
So in our house, this is just an office just right next to the front door.
Okay.
Small room, maybe 12 by 12, if that. And I just had to find a way to make this space as usable as possible. I've also got a lot of gear that I sometimes tour with, so that's why there's a lot of cases. If I didn't have all those cases, it'd feel a lot bigger. But so is life. Got some stuff mounted on the wall. Got a lot of acoustic treatment that helps with, this whole room is pretty much drywall all over except wood floors. And I do have a rug here too that also helps with the acoustics in the room. Pretty dead sounding. It's not too bad. It's great for any application.
So what do you do out of here, Drew Lee?
What I do out of here is pretty much making a lot of music, a lot of demos, anywhere from just an acoustic and vocal to full band stuff. Now I do have to track drums elsewhere, but I'm able to just drag the tracks in here, and I do all the mixing and all the other instruments one by one pretty much out of this space.
Now for those who don't live in Nashville and don't know what demo means, tell us what you mean when you say you do song demos.
So demos is a pretty loose term. It used to have one specific meaning. Now it has several. Back in the 70s, 80s, demos were used to give a demonstration to what the full studio version of a song would be like. So you just had kind of a thrown together demo of just some drums, guitars, vocals, just to give publishers, song pluggers the idea of what the song would sound like in a real studio environment. Nowadays, demos it can be a full range production in a major studio. And it could sound as good as, if not better than, some albums, if you're good enough. So
that's always the big if. Cool. So what strikes me is, like most people I talk to, you're in a single room, a normal room, not a custom room in your house. You've got these big mamma jamma V-shaped kind of half of a booth to kind of get an isolated spot right there, but otherwise you're making, and at the end of this video we'll play some stuff Drew's done in this space, but you're making good sounding music in a home studio, and I think that's awesome. So tell us what you got over here.
So here at the desk, I've got a lot of toys and goodies. The hope is to have a bigger office, not necessarily a 2-room idea, because I still like the idea of using a control room also as the recording room. And if the space is big enough, you acoustically treat it well enough, it's still good enough to track in. So the reason I have some of this stuff here, you know, this DBX1, if I ever want to have a drum set in here or like a cajon or some kind of percussion, that's great to just kind of compress and gate those sounds. Right above that is a Presonus HP60 for headphone extensions and multiple headphone usage. So if I have like a 3-piece band that wants to come in here and track, they can each have headphones and hear the mix together. Right above that is a Presonus Fire Studio tube. It's basically 16 ins and I think 12 outs, maybe more than that. But essentially, the 2 front outputs have tube in the preamps, and you can drive those tubes as much as you want. And what's really cool about it is you already have an 80 hertz and a limitation function, so it's really handy for drums. I have to go track drums at another place, and I'll play the drums myself, but I'll bring that with me because it's pretty light and portable. And I'll put the kick and the top snare within those front tube channels.
That's cool.
And it limits it perfectly with still a lot of room to breathe and sound really nice. Over to the right, on the very top here, I've got the Presonus Eureka. And the Eureka I pretty much use on just about everything. Vocals, guitars, the bass guitar, you name it, I'm pretty much going to use the Eureka. It sounds fantastic for being a solid state preamp. Below that is just a ToneWorks Korg 80s looking
Strobe tuner, man.
Strobe tuner. And it's awesome. I love it.
I really want a strobe
Still
tuner.
pretty accurate. A buddy of mine sold that to me pretty cheap. Right below that is a Behringer Vintage Series, kind of a tube compressor and composer. It's got a vacuum tube in it. Also nice if you just have some really, if you want that really kind of old style vacuum kind of sound.
Vacuum. That sucking sound.
That sucking sound. A lot of hiss.
And so real quick, so here we go. An Apollo Twin.
Yes.
Which is fantastic from Universal Audio.
Yes.
Also fader port.
Yep.
You're a fanboy like I am of Presonus. But you've also got the Fire Studio. So I'm assuming this is your mobile rig. Because you do drums, you need more channels.
That's right.
This is kind of your main rig while you're here in the studio.
That's right.
Cool. Awesome. Which is just beautiful.
It's nice.
It was very nice. And then what are we running over here?
So I'm basically running the whole Studio DAW out of the MacBook Pro.
Okay.
And I just bought this MacBook. It's actually a 2011.
Okay.
It's not a MacBook Air or one of the most recent ones because I've heard this is kind of a more solidly built laptop. I needed something that was versatile that I could take with me anywhere and use anywhere, as well as be just as good of a home studio.
Because like a lot of musicians, you'll be in your studio working, but then, as you might have heard earlier, he's also going out on the road doing tour dates and playing with artists and such. And when you play keys, because you're one of those guys who plays everything, there was just a little cynicism there because you're awesome. Drew's a fantastic musician, but he'll take a keyboard controller and that laptop and trigger a lot of his samples that way. So laptop working double duty makes a lot of sense here.
And of course, having a laptop, it's such a tiny screen. If I'm going to stare at that thing all day, I might as well have a really nice big monitor so that my eyes don't hurt.
Yeah, that's helpful. We've got the Rocket 8s. And microphone-wise, I saw a blue over here. Is that the...
It's the Blue Bird.
The Blue Bird.
Blue Bird. Use that great on acoustics, nice clarity.
Groove tubes over
here. This is an old Groove Tube 55, GT55. Cool. I don't even know if they sell those anymore, but it's great on vocals. Got a nice Dean bass guitar there, 5-string if I want that nice low end rounded out. I got my arsenal of guitars here. Breedlove Concert Series. This is just kind of a Mitchell, something to kind of fool around with for songwriting. GNL ASAT Classic S, similar model to a Telecaster, but this little switch here, you pull it out, and all of a sudden these pickups kind of turn around like this, and it has the same function as a Stratocaster.
Get out.
Okay.
Bye. All the years I've known you and that guitar, I never knew that knob pulled out.
Yep.
Way to hold out on me. Appreciate it.
Banjo.
Mm-hmm.
Versatile sound. Gibson Studio. Les Paul.
Beautiful.
So I've got, and then of course, not amps, pedal board. Pedal board, lots of different sounds. Here's a nice little drum machine if I want to get some cool sounds. Play with that as kind of almost like a SPD.
Yeah.
And then the closet back here is where I'll put my amps.
Oh, cool.
If I need to rock out on some loud guitars.
Awesome. Well, dude, what I like about it is it's simple. You don't have ridiculous amounts of stuff because you just don't need ridiculous amounts of stuff. And you're doing everything from like acoustic guitar vocal demos to full band demos, right?
I am, yeah.
That's so cool.
First time.
Awesome. Well, I think that covers what I wanted to cover. Drew, tell everybody one more time how to find out more about you. If they want to work with you or hear more of your stuff, where do they go?
Yeah, just go to NashvilleDemoFactory.com. There's a contact page. You can reach out to me through there. There's also a phone number there. You can get in contact with me as well.
Excellent.
If you live in the States.
I live in the United States of America. All right, so I think this is the song he's going to give me to play as the outro music so we can hear something that was produced in this space. Is that right?
That's right.
All right.
Except drums.
Except drums.
That's about it.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
It was the first time my eyes had seen glory. Like an answered prayer, hope in the air, I swear the Spirit moved. It was the first time I saw heaven show me that auburn hair and lips that dare in your carefree attitude. You said, boy, let the music flow right through you. In my head, I sang a hip-hop hallelujah. I didn't know that angels could dance till you float right through the crowd, just like you floated on the clouds. I didn't know I could fall that fast, but you got my heart to pound so hard it never could slow down. I once was lost, but baby, I'm found. That dance floor must be holy ground. It was the first time your arms wrapped around me. Like amazing grace, you felt the